You never killed Stacy?
No, not at all.
He was sentenced to death in 1998 for the murder of a Central Texas girl. Today, years later, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals heard Rodney Reed's case.
Now, Reed was convicted for the murder of 19-year-old Stacy Stites. She was just 18 days away from her wedding day. Reed has always maintained his innocence. KITV's Adam Rakusin was in court today. He joins us live from New Orleans to tell us what happened. Adam?
Yeah, well, Judy, the hearing was only about an hour long today, and it was hard to tell which way, if any, the judges were leaning. They asked a lot of questions but didn't make a lot of comments. The only one really coming at the end of today's hearing, where one judge thanked Reed's attorney for all that he does. Reed's legal team says they've been waiting more than a decade for a meaningful review of this case.
Hundreds of miles from Bastrop, in the heart of Louisiana, sits a courthouse that may hold the key to unlocking Rodney Reed's fate, a place that could also send him one step closer to his death sentence.
Mr. Reed deserves a day in court on this important evidence of his innocence.
Today, Reed's legal team had 1 hour to argue their case in front of a panel of federal judges. They presented evidence they feel needs to be heard by a jury. A court document from the original medical examiner they believe will show Reed did not kill Stacy Stites.
There is forensic evidence that shows that Mr. Reed and Ms. Stites had a consensual relationship at least a day before her death. That's evidence that's never been considered by any court, and the jury should have heard that.
The time was split with a representative from the state who fired back, saying it's hard to imagine any jury having reasonable doubt, arguing the judges need to look at the evidence and see the original verdict is correct. It's an argument dismissed by Reed's supporters.
I know that he is innocent, and I'm tired of the injustice that he has been dealt.
Who made the 8-hour drive to be in the courtroom.
I asked him if he wanted me to come visit him today and be with him today or come here, and he just said he really wanted me to be here and let him know everything that went on.
In April, I sat down with Reed behind the glass at death row. He proclaimed his innocence, something he's done for nearly 2 decades, explaining how he keeps going and will continue to fight for his freedom.
My innocence, my family, my loved ones, my friends, and my supporters, they all behind me. I got to continue to fight.
It's that drive that brought his lawyers to New Orleans, answering any and all questions the judges had.
We believe that they take the case seriously and will ultimately apply the law correctly and give Mr. Reed his day in court.
And no cameras were allowed inside of the building. The state has denied all of our interview requests, saying they do not comment on death penalty cases. As for where this case stands, well, that's really up in the air right now. No decision was made today, and it could be quite some time before one is issued. Reed's attorneys would like to see this case brought back to a jury.